Hey there, VCE HHD students. My name's Andy. I'm a VCE Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're going to look at part 2 of how could I structure my HHD study this year to maximise my results. So if you didn't know already, there's a variety of ways that you can engage with the Health Resources Hub. Our YouTube channel released over 100 videos last year in 2023, so you might like to head there and check those out. And new videos will be coming out each week during term time this year. So you can subscribe with the button in the bottom corner of the video there, and that will give you alerts to those new videos coming out this year. You can also follow us on our social media, so Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and you'll get alerts to those videos as well as SAC and exam tips throughout the year. And you can see there our website, the hrh.net.au, where there's opportunities for students and teachers, so you might like to head there and check that out. And finally, down the bottom there, our email. If you've got any questions or queries, you can send us an email at info@thehrh.net.au. So in part 1 of our video, that came out earlier, you can see we went through these 4 different examples of how you could structure your HHD study this year. And so in this video here, part 2, we're going to look at, well, what does all of this mean you'll need to do this year to ensure you can incorporate all of those aspects into your weekly schedules. So the first thing there is planning ahead. So most schools and most teachers will provide their classes with a yearly or a termly planner, so you can see when your assessments are coming up. And so this is really important that you know how far away your different SACs and assessments are, so that you can ensure that some of those things we talked about in the previous video, such as completing practice questions, etc., are done in enough time, that you're able to get the feedback and be prepared for these assessments. So planning ahead is really important. I would always be looking, 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead and thinking about, well, what am I going to need to do and put in place to ensure that I'm ready, for what's coming. And so that obviously links into the second point there, which is to get organized. Now, I know this might sound old school, but most of the high-performing students that I've worked with still use a physical diary to keep on top of things, You might want to use an electronic diary, and that's okay if that works for you, but make sure you're not trying to remember everything in your head. I've worked with a lot of students to just say, yep, I'll remember, and surprise, surprise, they often forget things. Now, whether this be organizing, say, writing in all of these assessments that are coming up, or organizing your homework and ensuring that that's completed all the time, or trying to fit in your other commitments around your schoolwork, having a diary and knowing, when things are due and what's coming up is really important. Now, the third point there is making sacrifices. And so if you do want to do well, this year in HHD, you might need to make a few sacrifices or forego some time that you used to spend on other tasks so that you can fit into your schedule all those things we talked about in the previous video, because all of them obviously take time. And so that might mean you might need to cut back, say, on things like scrolling social media or watching Netflix. So there's a range of different things that you need to think about perhaps sacrificing. And that's not to say that you shouldn't have a balanced year and still do things that you enjoy, but you might just need to cut back a bit on those so you can make some more time for those things we talked about in the previous video. I remember when I was in year 12, I decided that for a period of time I would get up an hour earlier, each day, so that I could work on some of my notes, because I knew that was the quietest time in my house and I wouldn't have any other distractions, and that worked well for me. So there's different things you can do to try to, ensure that you get everything done, and achieve those goals that you might be setting for yourself. And then finally it says there, be open to feedback. And so being open to feedback means that when you are completing, say, practice tasks and you're asking your teacher how you're going, don't take personally their feedback if they say that there's things that need to be improved. You need to think of that as an opportunity for growth and to improve your results, because you want to be getting as much feedback as possible in the lead up to your assessments and the exam, so that you can keep fine-tuning your work to try to maximize your results. So hopefully those things there can help you to think about some of those, strategies that you can put into place to incorporate a lot of those things that we talked about in the previous video. Just a reminder here, some ways that you can engage with the Health Resources Hub, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much.